stock traders, and welcome back to Stock Traders Talk Radio. I'm your host, Stock Sumo, and thanks for joining us on this tricky Thursday, July 26th. You know what time it is, folks. It's time to top off your cup of coffee here with Stock Traders Talk as we look through the markets. So open up your charts, turn on your scanners, and fire up those trading accounts. Joining us on this morning's program is Haas. What's up, big guy?
Stock Sumo, good morning, man. What's going on?
Oh, not a whole heck of a lot. Just getting fired up here, getting ready to roll. Couple of big winners yesterday. We always catch them. We always manage to catch them early. We catch them on the scanner. And what can I say? We're like the Salvation Army for traders. You know, all the traders out there that they're low, maybe hitting a bottom. They don't know where to go. They turn to the Salvation Army for guidance. We'll give you our charity because we're here at no cost to you. You come and we give you the winners, folks. ICNB yesterday. What was ICNB doing yesterday, Haas?
ICNB, I think we were talking about this one at like 008, 009 or something when we first started talking about it. They recently updated their registry with the Secretary of State that they're incorporated in. And so people are speculating, that the company is basically going to, start rocking out some news, or they're getting ready to do something big. And they did end up putting out news yesterday, so why don't we go check that out, actually, right out the gates here. Just so we can get an idea of what I'm talking about. But yeah, this thing was a beast. This thing closed at 3 cents yesterday, and looked like it closed at about sub-penny the day before, so absolute beast yesterday. I could have sworn that, oh yeah, corporate update, here we go. Let's click on this guy. I'm sorry, I've been in a daze the last few days, folks. Sometimes it takes me a little while to get going in the mornings here. Iconic Brands, ICNB corporate update. They put this out yesterday, which was shortly after, they updated the Secretary of State, which is what generated the slight buying interest the 2 days prior to yesterday. And then yesterday, obviously, it just went out, friggin' started flying. And then they put this out. Iconic Brands Incorporated announces corporate updates as related to ongoing operations and forward-looking plans. As previously announced in September of 2011, our wholly owned subsidiary, Iconic Imports, was forced to file Chapter 7 bankruptcy when a senior creditor foreclosed on the subsidiary assets. The bankruptcy hearing has been held without claim and is pending discharge. There's no effect on the capital structure. People obviously love to hear that. No dilution, whatever. The company maintains approximately 52 million shares outstanding, with approximately 20 million shares in the public float. So we're talking about a stock with 52 million shares outstanding and a 20 million float that was sitting in the trips not more than freaking 3 days ago. So obviously this one's going to move super quick as that float gets locked up in that sub-penny area, which is exactly what we're seeing right now. In the interim, we have aggressively started the process to update our financials and engage in new business opportunities to create value for our shareholders. We anticipate having all financials updated by no later than third quarter ending September 30th, 2012. We put up a simple website. It should be noted that July 24th, so that is what, Tuesday, we received a notice from over-the-counter markets that our company's stock has been labeled with caveat emptor for the unusual trading around the stock. Out of the blue, it was $0 volume for so long, it starts generating a lot of buying interest. Obviously, over-the-counter markets can be like, what the hell is going on with your company? Is this thing a scam? What's going on? We have spoken with over-the-counter markets, and they are aware that the company is updating the information and will remove the caveat emptor marker immediately post of our filings. All right, so we got a company that's basically, let's just go check it out on DD Amanda. I know we did this yesterday too, but DD Amanda is just a sweet tool, you know, $0 volume for ages. The thing filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy in 2011, for God's sake. But this is the over-the-counter markets. You can have a company that files for Chapter 7 bankruptcy. They literally have no operations, and everything looks like the company is just completely dead. And you can make frickin' 30 bags on it in 3 days. That's the over-the-counter market. That's why we love it. You know, companies that are going from complete silence, complete shit, to, yeah, we might be putting some updates out in the near future, even though we have no operations and our only subsidiaries in Chapter 7 bankruptcy. And you get $100,000 day, $30,000 day, and oh, go figure, you're up at 3 cents. And there are some rumors floating around, rumors, mind you, that there's huge short interest in this stock as well. So you take a 50 million OS and a 20 million float and a massive short interest, you start getting some significant buying in the stock. Who knows what can happen? I'm not going to confirm those rumors. You know, as far as shorting goes in the penny markets, I honestly don't know what goes on. You know, it happens. But as far as believing, you know, all these short rumors and shorting posts on all these boards, it's all bullshit. No one really knows. Market makers can basically play with any stock they want to, however they want to. So this one is definitely one to keep an eye on today. I would be scared to buy it, but I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing at frickin' 20 cents by the end of the day today. That's how ridiculous this one is going to be in the near future here, in my opinion. And it's going to be an interesting one to watch for sure. But, you know, high risk, high reward play. It's obviously received huge interest over the last couple of days, but if there are shorts and they have to cover, or, you know, with the 20 million float, we've seen some crazy things in the penny markets. So it'll be a fun one to watch regardless.
No doubt.
Def.
All right. Let's take a quick look at the old pre-market scanner. First thing I want to mention is Nokia. Mentioned this one a lot before. Caught it on the chart coming off a bottom, and look at it today. It's at $1.93, $1.94 pre-market, up 9 cents. That's another 4.89% on 1.4 million in volume, 374 trades. Now let's take a look at the chart, because we're at a crucial resistance spot here at 190, and already we're gapping up above it. So this is the 20-day moving average, and she looks like she's gapping up right above this. The next resistance spot is going to be 211, and then after that it's going to be 237, which is where the 50-day moving average is. Okay, let's take a look at this other one that caught my eye. I'm not sure if they had some news out or what. You're going to have to take a look at it, Haas. IBIO. Indigo, Bravo, Indigo, Oscar. So we'll take a look at the chart on this one as well. IBIO. Beasting through the moving averages. Had a big day here yesterday where it climbed above the 100-day and the 200-day. And you can tell she's breaking out right now. So already gapping up past this resistance at $1.50. The next resistance is going to be at $1.74. But look at the volume bars really increase here these past couple of days. That's confirming our breakout. We got a RSI in the power zone. That's looking really strong. Also have the blue bars on the histogram that continue to stack up to the positive side. And the PPO lines are diverging. They're showing that they want to spread apart even further. So the next time we're going to be looking for a bearish signal is when these lines start to converge, the opposite of what they're doing right now. So when they start to pinch together towards the top up here maybe, then we'll be looking for potential exit because right now all the indicators are pointing north, and it looks like it wants to continue to break out, and we're seeing that in this gap up. So, Haas, why don't you take a look at IBIO? It's traded on the Amex, and see if there's anything that's pre-market news or why this thing's gapping up here 20% pre-market.
Oh, there sure is some news. Yeah, definitely some interest this morning. There's some big pre-market volume on that one, gapping out nice. iBio Incorporated is the company. Sucker closed at $1.29 yesterday. Forming a little venture with GE Healthcare, new global alliance. As you can see, I got this up on the screen. iBio Incorporated and GE Healthcare, the healthcare business of GE. Everyone knows GE, General Electric, announced today a new global alliance to commercialize plant-based technologies for the manufacture of biopharmaceuticals and vaccines. The alliance builds on the existing development and marketing agreement between the two companies announced in 2010 and combines iBio's innovative plant-based vaccine manufacturing platform, the iBio Launch, with GE Healthcare's world-class capabilities in start-to-finish technologies for biopharm manufacturing. iBio's research and development collaborator, Fraunhofer USA Center for Molecular Biotechnology, will continue to play a key role in advancing the iBio Launch platform. Financial terms were not disclosed, but you know, GE Healthcare is getting involved. It's probably pretty good for iBio Incorporated. So fantastic news there.
Cool. Good stuff.
Cool. Got any others you want to look at? Or you want me to roll, my friend?
Yeah, I don't really see anything other than that was catching my eye. I like to look for the ones with big volume. Usually they could be up, but they're just not trading enough volume. There's one other one that was up here, Gene, Gene. It's up 25%. Last traded at $4.40. That's a gain of 90 cents on 20,000 shares.
Ooh. I like that gap. This thing can move, man.
Let's take a look at the chart. See what she's looking at. See what she's all about. Gene, Genie. Okay, yeah, look at this thing. She's rocked before. Had a big run back here in May, June area, ran all the way up to $6.20 off of a low of $2.29. But right here is key. She's breaking above all these moving averages. So we've seen this time and time again. And once they break above these moving averages, they can really break out. We're going to be looking for a break of this 449 right here. Was the last swing high after the huge run. There was a pullback. It bounced right off of this 50-day moving average and ran up to 449 where it caught resistance. So if she can break above this 449, there's not going to be much resistance all the way up to 620. So a lot of room to go on there if it can get some legs. So GENE right now, 433 by 470 pre-market. We'll see what she does.
There is some news out on that one, so we might as well cover that while we're at it. We have Genetic Technologies announces Bravagen cleared for sale in California. Let's see. Genetic Technologies Limited is pleased to announce that the Laboratory Field Services Unit of the California Department of Public Health has granted a license to the company's Australian-based laboratory. Bravagen may now be offered for sale into the state of California. Let's see, what is this Bravagen? Whoops, sorry. Based solely on incident rates, California represents approximately 11% of the U.S.'s total breast cancer incidents. Over 25,000 new cases of breast cancer diagnosed annually. What is this? Bravagen. I'm looking for this certification. Oh, Bravagen down here. All right. Looks like it's breast cancer risk stratification test. It's a genetic test for breast cancer, and approved for use in California. It looks like. So cool. We've been hearing a lot lately about the up and coming genetic testing market. You know, you can go get your genes sequenced, and you can find out different type of risks that you have for different types of diseases and stuff. You can just get a whole genetic profiling. It's kind of cool, actually, because you know, genes are everything. I'm not going to talk sciencey. I don't want to sound too geeky this morning.
No, we don't want to do that.
I am a geek, though.
I love it, though. I love it. You bring some great stuff to the table with your DD and finding some of these FDA. You know what? Speaking of which, I just signed up for a new service. Have you ever heard of Seeking Alpha?
I have. I like Seeking Alpha. You got to be careful, but there's some good articles on there.
I like it. I just signed up for it, and I'm just getting into that, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I definitely like Seeking Alpha. It's some pretty good writers on there, you know, but you have to get to a certain point before they'll let you publish and stuff, but there's lots of good stuff. Good information. Those were two good finds this morning, Sumo. Good news for both of them. Why don't we cover a few key press releases that I want to cover this morning? There's a few good ones. First one I want to talk about, we've mentioned this one on the show several times. BooooooooM Corporation, ticker RENU. This one's kind of been hot a little bit over the last couple of days, generating some interest and hype. The company's been super quiet following their name change. I think we did an interview with them back in early 2012, and they were talking about late summer, early fall is when they were getting ready to gear up to start updating their shareholders on all the things they have going on. And hopefully, recently this is starting to come to light here. They just announced the launch of their corporate website back on July 10th. And they put out some press this morning that gives us an idea about a significant acquisition that they're looking at that is planning to bring up some green energy contracts. So let's take a look at this. BooooooooM Corporation announces plans to acquire Team Energy Incorporated. BooooooooM Corporation, a rapidly expanding renewable energy roll-up company focused on solar, wind, and geothermal energy solutions, today announced that the company has signed a letter of intent to acquire Team Energy Incorporated, a developer of renewable energy projects in St. Cloud, Florida. This non-binding letter of intent is the first step required in the acquisition process, which the companies expect to complete within the next month. Looks like Team Energy has tons of experience. They're a private company right now. They have different types of technologies related to compressed natural gas in landfills and elsewhere. I still have to do some due diligence myself on Team Energy, but as far as what the management is saying here, let's just take a look at this. James Scott, CEO of BooooooooM, I'm very excited to bring in the incredible talent and resources of Team Energy. Their extensive history of completing large commercial power projects is the perfect fit for BooooooooM, and will allow us to continue our exponential growth. The size and scope of some of Team Energy's projects are truly amazing. So hopefully we can get some number figures out in the near future on the size of those projects, and we'll solidify our position as the go-to company for any power project. But what I particularly like is down at the bottom here. Oh, never mind, the next paragraph actually. Over the past months, we have been purposefully silent on all corporate matters while we sought out the perfect candidate for this acquisition. I am pleased that our tenacity has been rewarded with an acquisition of this magnitude, and to announce that this blackout period is over. So basically it's saying they're done shutting up and they're ready to. So hopefully they got some good stuff to come in the future. Probably one to keep an eye on as far as the press releases coming out and stuff like that. We'll see how she responds today. What else do I want to go over today, man? Yeah. All right, let's go take a look at AEZS. Another bio we brought up a few times. They put out some news related to a phase 1 clinical trial, I believe. No, preclinical. AEZS, this one closed at 44.5 cents yesterday. Eterna Zentaris, preclinical data for AEZS-108 in bladder cancer published online in OncoTarget. Let's see here. The article outlines AEZS-108's powerful growth inhibition of bladder cancers in nude mice, as well as its safety profile. I don't know if any of you have ever seen a nude mouse before, but they're pretty cool. It's just like no hair. They're pinkish. They look like little aliens. It's kind of funny. I just like the term nude mice. JBII put out some news this morning. Check that. On July 26th, 2012, JBI Incorporated issued a press release to announce the approval of a modification to its solid waste management permit by the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation. A copy of the press release is attached here too. Okay, there was a better press release that I had, but this one likes to bounce from this low $1 range. They're expected to get some plants up running and bringing in revenues later this year, so might be one to keep an eye on from these prices. Apparently my back thing doesn't work. What is? WNRC. WNRC closed at 6 cents yesterday. Press out this morning. SatView Broadband launches additional HD TV in Elko, Nevada. SatView Broadband Limited, a subsidiary of WENR Corporation, announced today it has launched additional high-definition channels. SatView is now distributing the CBS, ABC, Fox, ESPN, and ESPN2 channels in high definition. The company has invested substantial capital into the current upgrade. Additionally, SatView is offering 11 digital channels, internet, telephone, and DVRs. This allows the company to compete effectively with the telephone company as well as satellite providers. The company is planning additional HD channels in the near future. Let's see what else we got to work with this morning. NAVB. This was a FDA run-up play. The PDUFA date is out in September. I mentioned it probably about a month ago, 2 months ago on the board as one of my favorite run-ups. That and TLON. And as we can see, this one's been creeping up over the last couple months for sure. They put out great news this morning. Actually, a couple of releases, if I am remembering correctly. Let's go over this first. They released some credit facility. Now they released some credit facility news as well, providing some funding. This is the key press release of the day. NVIDIA Biopharmaceuticals elects to extend. What the heck? I'm sorry, guys. There is more recent news. Let me go find that for us. Here we got a couple press releases. Whew. Losing my mind. Here's the credit facility news I was talking about. NVIDIA Biopharmaceuticals announces $50 million credit facility with Platinum Montar Life Sciences. All right, but this is the news that I wanted to go over here related to Lymphoseek, which is the drug up for the PDUFA date decision in September. I'll go get the exact date in a second here if they don't mention it in this press release. Lymphoseek data presented by independent investigators at the 8th International Conference on Head and Neck Cancer. NVIDIA Biopharm noted today that individual site investigator-initiated results of an ongoing phase 3 clinical trial of 99M, whatever that is, Lymphoseek, were presented at the American Head and Neck Cancer Society's 8th International Conference on Head and Neck Cancer, held in Toronto. Looks like different investigators from different universities. Let's see. Our initial clinical experience with Lymphoseek has demonstrated its utility, diagnostic, predictive value, and safety in our patients, both preoperatively in lymphoscintigraphy and for intraoperative localization, said Dr. whoever that is of the University of Texas. In determining the extent of early-stage oral cavity squamous cell carcinoma, i.e. cancer, we are evaluating the efficacy of sentinel lymph node biopsy to improve staging and direct treatment of our patients. All right, screw the rest of the data. Let's find a date for the PDUFA. PDUFA date of September 10th, 2012. Lymphoseq, the use of Lymphoseq in lymphatic mapping in cancer patients. All right, this Lymphoseq is kind of like it's a little marker that helps predict presence and severity of different types of cancers. So,
PEIX. Got a tip. I was hitting the scanner. I posted it yesterday. This thing has heated up before in the past. It's one of those it's a ethanol play. So biodiesel. And it's coming off of a bottom. It had a big day yesterday and it busted through the 20-day moving average. And definitely want to keep this one on watch because I posted on our board. It looks like it's filling the gap here. Notice there is a huge gap down. It was trading well above 50 cents for a while. Was bouncing off the 50s, went as high as 75 here back in May, and then it gapped down from the 51 area all the way to 30-cent range, and then it found support off of 26.5 cents. And she's been kind of climbing back up, but yesterday had that big day where it busted through the 20-day moving average, and looks like it wants to continue to run here. The next key resistance is probably going to be where this gap was from right here. So 51 cents is where that gap was from, so that's going to be a key resistance spot, and that's also where the 50-day moving average is. So just something to keep in mind on PEIX. Notice the RSI punched through the 50-day moving average, and it's getting through the 50 line here. That's showing some strength. Pointing north, wants to go to the power zone. Had a crossover on the PPO. That looks good. I'd like to see this PPO get above the 50 MA overlay, but notice the blue bars on the histogram just started to flip over to the top side. That's good. And the slow stow punched through that 50 MA overlay. It's through the 50 line, and the slow stow looks like it wants to get keep going north to the power zone. Notice it's at a high point, the highest it's been since prior to May. So good looking chart on PEIX. The volume's coming in yesterday. Definitely want to keep this one on watch. All right, back to you, Haas. We got 1 minute.
Yes, sir. I'm just pulling up some scanners to get ready for some level 2 action. Definitely going to want ICNB on this guy right out the gates.
TLON looks like it wants to gap to $1.71. Nokia is gapping to $1.96. ICNB is 03 by 033. RENU is 0041 by 0042. And we're off. Oh, boy. Oh, man, I'm killing myself. I clipped Apple calls right into the close yesterday. I could be up 100% today. I sold them at 70. These are the 585 calls. They opened up at $1.52. They're at 116 by 130 right now. Ugh. I learned the hard way from holding it overnight, and I've lost most times after I hold it overnight, so decided to take my chances and just, not hold it overnight and just take my money. But I'm going to be watching this thing. I might get back in it here.
Yeah, we got a T-loan 170 by 171. fully expect this thing to be $2 and more before that FDA date hits. That's my target, to lock in free shares before the FDA decision. If you don't do that, you're an idiot. But those 130s are juicy right now, I'll tell you that. Let's check out our CEO interview stock from last night. MHYS looks pretty quiet so far out of the gates. Decent support there at 001. 2 million shares traded so far. Last traded at 0012. 0011 up on the ask. The ask actually looks pretty thin up to 0015. But the interest, just not there out of the gates this morning. IMBS looked like it wanted to start its next run late in the day yesterday. Finished up at 0011, which was up nearly 100% from the previous close of the 0006. Today, 0009 by 001. Last traded 001 minus 9.1%. 690,000 shares traded. Rumors of news this week is what's creating most of the interest there. So we'll see if that hits or not. ICNB relatively quiet out of the gates. 3 cents by 3.3 cents, 56,000 shares traded. RENU, 1 million shares traded, up 10.8% on the day. Last traded 0041. Decent bid support there. Ask looks pretty thin up to 0048. 005 area. ICNB, couple hits. As we said, 20 million float, super thin. Now 3.6 cents by 4 cent spread. Then it jumps to 25 cents. As far as market makers go, there's a 4 cent hit. 81,000 shares traded, up 33.3%. Last traded 4 cents. $3.6 by 4 spread right now.
DOLV. That one's hitting my scanner. It's up 125%.
I remember news on that one either yesterday, post-market maybe. I might go check that out here. Wow, decent volume there. 349,000 volume. Last traded 18 cents. Now it's last traded 19 cents, up 137.5%. 18 by 20 spread. Next market maker after 20 cents VFIN is Murph up at $1.01. Wow. Now a 1 cent by 20 cent spread. No, 19. Let's go check out if there's any news on that guy. There was news recently, I know that. Yeah, yesterday, post-market, they put out some news. Let's check this out. Dolat Ventures to commence resources for alluvial mining operations at Bimbawai Pool on the Siwa River project in Sierra Leone. Looks like announces plans to channel initial resources in August 2012 towards its project at that Bimbawai Pool on the Siwa River project in Sierra Leone. Very excited to finally begin mechanizing its diamond and potential gold mining operations in Sierra Leone. The company believes there is significant potential to enhance the existing geological data to support rapid production expansion. Someone liked the news.
ICNB is looking pretty strong out of the gate. 223,000 in volume. 14 trades, up 26%. Awesome call, man. I love these scanners. It's great with what we find at any given moment.
For sure, man.
Pacific Gold is hitting my scanner, up 23%, 011 by 0115. That's PCFG, Papa Charlie Frank George. 1 million in volume. That's 9 trades on the day.
Pizu brought this one up either last Friday or Monday on the pre-loading that was going on.
Yep.
And go figure, it's up about 150% from when we brought it to your attention. Currently up 16.7% on the day on decent volume again. 235,000 shares traded. Last trade 24.5 cents. Brought to you on a silver platter at 10 cents. Recognize the pre-promo patterns and you can make some serious bank. Now up 31%, 27.5 cents last trade. Let's just check out DD Amanda and see what we were seeing so you guys can follow these patterns. Especially if you get DD Amanda, which is a pretty badass tool. We saw all this loading around this 10-cent area out of the blue after several $0 volume days. You know something's going on. Share exchange with a promo group, share exchange with some big money behind the scenes that plan to do something with the stock. You load within those first few days, and as we can see, you can make some serious bank. What do we want to check out today? HCNP, obviously one I'm keeping my eye on. Total lotto play with the FDA PDUFA date expected today for rheumatoid arthritis treatment. I am dyslexic this week. Absolutely dyslexic.
I think it's because you're lost without hockey and you're just itching to get back out on the ice.
No, and golf. Jeez.
It keeps, it's like your zen. It keeps your balance and like your world in proper order.
Well, I'm just such an angry person, and hockey is my outlet. So let my anger out. So when I don't get that, I feel like punching the computer screen, man.
Here's a little sub penny that's hitting my radar. LGBS. Larry George Bravo Sally 0059 by 0062, up 60% on 3.7 million in volume.
What the hell? Yeah, I suppose we gotta go check this out, don't we?
Yeah. Then there's this other one that's up 1200%, but it's not a lot of volume. I'm not even gonna mention it. I wouldn't be chasing it here. But I like this one because it's decent volume. And seems like it must have a low float.
Well, they put out news on July 24th. Retains auditor preparing to regain its SEC fully reporting status. So people speculating on other stuff to come after that. Let's see if there's anything out today. It's actually been relatively quiet on the IHA boards. Let's see.
ADLI is the other one that's hitting my scanner. It's up 1,600%. ADLI is 4 by 4.5. It's up 1,400% on 440,000 shares. I wouldn't touch it up this high, but looks like it's just gonna keep climbing. I don't know. I wouldn't chase.
LGBS is there's a promo group on it. I wouldn't touch it. What one did you mention? Adley.
Yeah, Adley.
Oh man, who brought this one to me? This one is very familiar. I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't touch Adley. I don't know what's going on there. I'm guessing it's just a really
that's another promo play too. I see it. See the writing on the wall.
Yeah, I don't really like this.
Hey, God bless them. You know, they got a sub penny that was low float. It was like super subby, and it's up 2,000%. 4 by 4.5, 4.5 by 4.95. It started hitting my scanner when it was like 2.5 by 3.5,
Mm.
and here it goes. But it's on promotion, so keep that in mind. You know. T-Line just broke the high. It's trading at the high of day here, $1.70. Oh, pull back a little bit. $1.71 by $1.73, but it hit a high of $1.75. So that thing is just keeps trucking along.
Buy it, put your sell at $2 for free shares. Easy game.
Good, I got.
It's doing.
How's which one? PEIX? Hold on, let me pull that one up here.
Check her out.
PEIX.
45 cents last trade, up 11.7%, 2.7 million volume. You did a chart on this before, right?
Yeah, trading at the high of day here. It's filling that gap. There's going to be resistance at 51 cents, which is the 50-day moving average. Plowing through that 45, though. Some nice ask slaps going on. There was like 6 market makers. Now they're down to 4 on the offer. 3 on the bid at 44.82. Scratch that. There's 2 there.
Can we get a toilet flush on Zynga? Do we have toilet flush access today? Down 40.
Yeah, we got a little bit of toilet flush.
Zynga! What a... What a shitter, down 40% today.
BBDA has just been holding in this tight channel up here. Thing's ready to bust loose. If it can get through that 003, we could probably test that 0039 again.
Yeah, BBDA has been hanging out here for a long time in accumulation mode, so when she busts, it might be with some authority. Oh, I guess that's look at the Pazoo level 2 screen. There's literally 1 share on the bid. 27 cents. Through night. I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
ADLI is up to 7.5 cents. 8.5 up on the offer. Up 3,378%.
Jesus.
Oh. Hey, you know what? It's good to see some of these pennies running like this because it brings some lifeblood back into the market. It gives some people some confidence. If they let these stocks run, it's awesome. Pazoo.
There's a short on this thing, man.
Yeah. PZOO rocking again today, man.
Now there's 3 shares on the bid through night. You got, oh, never mind. That's 300. Oh, lame. I forget these extra zeros. Yeah, I suck. It was actually 100 shares. But still, 100 shares. Who bids 27 bucks? You're going to take 33% hit in commissions. They just playing with it now.
Apple is fading here. It's hitting a new low of day. 575.42 is the low of day. It just clipped it. Looks like it's going lower. 575.40 here. 575.30. She's going lower. I was thinking about playing some puts on Apple today. Shoot, let's see. Let's take a look and see what these puts are doing here. The 575 puts are currently at $3.50. That's the high of day. They were as low as $1.50 earlier. Let's see if Apple could hold 575. Telon, $1.73 by $1.74. I picked some up yesterday in the $1.60s. I'm not gonna lie.
Smart move. Still got a couple weeks to the FDA date. I expect pullbacks, I expect runs, but I expect $2 ranges or more before that date. Lock in freebies, let them ride through the decision.
Yep. J23 in the chat room is asking us to look at ACAM. That's AKAM. And it's beasting right now. It's up almost 20% on the day. It's at $33.78.
Yeah, I think I saw this one on the scanner. Yeah, she is beasting. They put out some good earnings or something. Let's go check out what sort of press we got rolling on that sucker today. She's a big company. Nice fatty $6 billion market cap. Looks like they put out second quarter financial results yesterday. I'm assuming they were really, really good. What's the chart look like, man?
Let's take a peek here. ACAM. Oh, yeah. Wow. That's a big gap up. Busted through all the moving average. She was on a downtrend, too. You can see there is 4 straight red candles. It went from the $30 range down to $27.86. So it lost about 10% here in the past week. And bounced off of this low on those big earnings. Look at the indicators. They're all cranking up here, and they're all looking good. You got the RSI that punched through the 50 MA overlay. Got a cross on the PPO. Blue bars on the histogram are just flipped to the top side. And the slow stow is crossing over too. So all the indicators looking good. The stock gapped up well above all the moving averages. The next resistance here is this 33.74, and 35.98 is going to be the next key resistance after that.
Yeah, it looks like they have pretty good estimates. And they beat them. And they got a couple of upgrades from some reporting agencies. So she's a rockin' today.
Apple bounced off that 575.20 and is at 576.50.
Facebook, I think, when did they put out earnings? I think they put out their first quarterly earnings post-market today, if I remember correctly. Getting hammered today, down 5%. Make that 6%. Looks like TLON put out an announcement. Let's check it. Never mind. It's just one of those analysis report updates.
ACAM is busting loose here. It just hit 34.05, a new high of day. 34.09 is the high of day. Oh, it looks like IDOI had some news this morning about being wrongly named in a lawsuit. The other day that George Sharp came out with a news release on them saying that something about spam, and the stock tanked. Stock made a nice move since from when we were talking about it. You know, 40, 50 cents all the way up to 74 cents, and then had a big crash and burn. But notice yesterday that saw a low of 23, but rallied at the end of the day and closed above the the 50-day and the 200-day moving averages, which was key. The next key thing is if IDOI could break above the 100 and the 20-day, and they're both sitting at 39 cents. And currently the stock is 38.5 cents by 39 cents. So if it can break above this 39-cent mark and hold above it, could see a little bit more of a recovery here. In my opinion, I think this thing got heavily shorted in the 60 to 70 cent range. That's why that negative press release came out. I think it was a well-orchestrated plan from the shorts, and they got what they were asking for. People sold it off. People got scared. They panicked. It collapsed. They covered their shorts, and I still believe they're still covering. And I still think, you know, the stock, if it can get above these moving averages and hold above them, we could see a little bit more of a recovery. We'll see, though. Notice it's trying here. 39.9's going. 276,000 shares traded on IDOI. The high of day is 40 cents. Currently, it's trading at the high of day, up 7.8%. Man, it would have been nice to catch that dip in the 20s. Be up almost 100% already. What do we say about that ADLI? Not to chase it? What, it topped out at 9 cents. Now it's back to 3 by 4, and the bid support looks weak. Ouch. Don't go chasing these things. There's always going to be another bus that comes by.
I love the good old toilet flush.
I know, we missed it for all those days. I'm glad it's back.
MWWC, perfect example of why I hate reverse splits. They reverse split. I think they started trading around 10 cents. They're already down to 2 cents. Been down about 50% 2 days in a row now. The reverse split. Yep, I'm liking this IDOI action. See what else we got going on. SPOW was getting some action earlier. Wouldn't touch it. I think this is an old crappy promo.
IDOI is getting some legs here. 42 cents up on the offer. It's moving up on light volume compared to the volume it's seen the past few days. It's traded in the millions of shares. At one point, it traded 8 million shares, looks like, this week, one day. 42 cents by 42.9. RENU gapped up this morning on that news. It's pulled back and it's filling the gap, holding support here at 0035. There's 2 market makers on the bid and there's 1 market maker on the offer at 0037. I was liking the level 2 action on Renew yesterday. Not many bid slaps going on, mostly buys versus sells. I like seeing when they're not slapping the bids. Shows that people are taking a long position and the float is starting to dry up. One of the things that's hindering the performance on Renew is the caveat emptor status on pink sheets. In some cases people don't have the resources that we have, so they rely solely on OTCmarkets.com and they go there for their information. So they're not able to get up-to-date, accurate information because they have it marked as caveat emptor status. The company needs to get up-to-date with their filings. So if we see them get up-to-date soon and we see that status relieved, we could see some added buying pressure and we could see some more updates. The company's been in the dark period for so long, and finally they came out with that PR this morning, giving people an update after they had that update recently with their website. So they're starting to make some progress. I wouldn't be surprised to see some more updates on their filings to get whatever they need to get caught up at pink sheets, so they can go at least off of the caveat emptor and go to a yield or a stop sign or get current. So we'll be looking for that over the next few weeks, and if we see that's just another positive sign.
Nice. All right, man. What do you say we call it a show? Looks like big. Stop mentioning Yippee. How dare you? Yippee back in the dollar area. I like that company. One to keep your eyes on, too. One can move quick.
Apple just collapsed below 575. Let's see what those 575 puts are going at before we hang up the call here. Apple calls, or puts, are 375 by 385. Now they're up to 390. I was talking about them. I said, watch these 575 puts, and they just hit a high a day after they dipped when Apple took that run up to 576.60 after we saw it bounce off of 575. Let's see if it sets any new lows. The low a day is 574.51. I'm not sure if it's done seeing its lows. Anyways, hey, it's been real. It's been live. And it's always fun here at STT. Thanks for tuning in as always. We're out.
Thank you for listening to Stock Traders Talk Radio. All views and topics talked about on Stock Traders Talk Radio is solely for entertainment purposes. We are not professional financial advisors and always recommend you seek the advice of a professional financial advisor. Never invest in any stock featured on our show unless you can afford to lose your entire investment. The information contained on our show is based on sources which we believe to be reliable, but is not guaranteed by us as being accurate, and might not be a complete statement or summary of the available data. Stock Traders Talk Radio advises that the investments in companies profiled are commonly considered to be high risk, and use of the information provided is at the investor's sole risk. Thank you for listening to Stock Traders Talk Radio.